they're not talking speakers anymore because she won't go contestant and stay away from
Get everybody's attention up here.
And
we'll try to go through the awards here for everybody tonight. First, a couple thank yous. Thank you to the school for letting us play this year, for one thing. We weren't sure we were going to have a season for us until the season started, so that's a good thing for all of them. We had to get a chance to play, especially for the seniors. This is their last year, but so thank the school and the school board for going through the process and getting us an approved plan to get back out to play. But also from our internal thanks to my wife for her support and all she's done for us as with videotaping for us and just the time we're away and taking care of us, the three of us when we can't be home. Also to my assistant coaches for everything they've done this year. We had Coach Kiner's been with me since I started, and we had Coach Klein, Coach Hunter, and someone I coached and coming back and coaching with us. That's great to see. I like that suburban family. So, and Coach Ryan's been back a few years as well. We also had Coach Pastoriello and Coach Schmidt this year. They're here today, but that was great to get them out. We wanted to get as many coaches that we could have this season just in case we had issues with quarantines or COVID, that we could have people available to coach our players. So as it turned out, we made it through the season, but as you can see, we lost about half of our players tonight. That's where many of them are. They're stuck home in quarantine. So let's see. Yeah, I already did some thanks to the athletic director, Mr. Marshall, for getting the schedule for us and keeping everything moving through. And Steph Peterson's the secretary to the AD. She did a lot. She came in at the end of the season, but she got all the awards done for us in no time. So I'm sure she'll be a big help to me as a coach and to all the sports programs. So thank you to Kristen Hinder for everything she did for Booster Club rep. This was her first year, so a learning curve for her as well. So thank you to her. Our seniors and our senior parents for the 4 years you let us have your boys and play with us. I think they hopefully had a good experience with us. I had a good experience with all of them. So I'll have some words for each of them as we go through this later. But it's a tougher year for me, having one of my own. So. And just all the parents in general for everything you guys done getting into practices. I know this year was kind of strange when we had a 3 o'clock practice and they weren't in school that day, or they was an off day. So it was a kind of strange season when you'd say, go home, get some rest, get up for school. No, we don't have school tomorrow, Coach. I forgot, it's Wednesday. So we had to happen a couple of times, but it was an advantage probably to some of them to get to sleep in, get some extra rest, not having to get up to go to school in the morning. But I'd say this year we did fairly good with grades. So that's something we made a big deal about, trying to keep our kids all eligible. We never really had anybody close to ineligible. We've had some people didn't do well, but it's a new experience with the online piece. But out and out, we did a pretty good job with grades this year. So that's a good thing, especially with the way I know it went for many of them in the spring. The spring was a disaster with grades for a lot of kids. So I think we did a better job this fall going through the whole process. And I think it's going to continue to be strange for them for at least the next marking period or two. So. Yeah, just and the players too for everything they did. They came out and worked hard. Everybody was in very good shape when the season started. I know it was a strange delayed start, but we came out that first Friday, and I think everybody, all but 1 or 2 kids, made our run time, so it was good to see. That's what we want to get them fit and ready to play, so no one gets hurt. Even though we did have a couple injuries this year, but not too bad. So thank you to all of you guys for all you did, and for keeping up with the academic grind, as I call it in here. So it's something I wrote down. So you talk to other kids from other schools, and they all are surprised by how the academics are in suburban. They don't know that it's tough on you guys. So that's something to be proud of, for keeping your grades up. So just a couple. I have some comments on each of the JV team and the varsity team. Just some numbers and just some things to talk about. Our JV team this year, they were pretty young again. I think every year we're going through this because we had huge senior classes. I think the last 3 were 10, 10, and or 10, 11, 10, 12, and 10. I think this year was 10. It was 12 last year and 10 the year before. So it's been a big turnover. So every year we get a young team coming up. I think there were 11 freshmen, but 12 new players this year. One was a sophomore, but they came together. I mean, I think the record ended up being 10-1-1, or no, 10-9-1-1. I believe they had one last game. They didn't play West York, so one loss and one tie. Last year in 2019 they were 10-1-4. So they had 5 games last year they didn't win. This year they had one. So it's to think about, that's a good accomplishment for that new team, and there's a lot of freshmen. And thanks to Coach Klein for what he did to get them ready to play. And looking at their goals, they were very similar to what they scored. They had about 2.73, 2 3/4 goals a game. I think they had 2.72 last year, so about the same goals per game. The defense was good. I think last year they gave up a half a goal a game. This year they were 0.6 goals a game, so about the same, which is very good especially with a new team again. We had 7 shutouts this year, and they had 9 shutouts last year, but 9 over 17 games or 16 games versus 9 over 11 games. So it's still a lot of shutouts, a lot of good soccer being played. So, and we're looking forward to them becoming our next varsity team next year. We're going to be replacing 10 players again. So it's a ongoing thing with us. I think next year is our smallest senior class in probably 6 years. I think we have six guys will be seniors next year. So all in all, the JV team had a very good year again, and normally what that means is we'll have a good varsity team. So that's the whole plan. That's why we want coaches to coach those guys up to get them ready to play and play at that next level and play varsity minutes for us the next year. So thank you to all of those JV guys. We'll go through them as well as individuals, but this is just kind of an overview of the seasons from just I went through and look back at the book and think about what we did. So now I'll talk about the varsity team. This was our second trip to districts in a row, 2 years in a row. We would have been in the counties finals again, but that did not happen this year because of COVID. They only went to districts and states. We would have finished second in our division. I think last year we finished third last year, I believe. Yeah. So this year we would finished higher. So something to take from that. We advanced. We lost 10 seniors and came back and had a better season. So, and I think I wrote down again. We lost, same as last year. We lost 1 goal or 1 game by more than 1 goal. So that was our district game this year, and I think it was our county game the year before. We lost 2-0 to Dallas in the counties. This year was the 3-0 at district. So again, all in all, a very good year. And like I said, I think I'm going to this again. I think some of these are similar to what we said last year. We competed in every game we played. We didn't no give up. We played from minute 1 to minute 80. So that's something that we as coaches love to see and want to continue to see. And I think that's something that we're going to continue to breed into these guys as we go forward. We want them to play 80 minutes, win, lose, draw. It's give it all till the last minute. Resilient is another word I used. I think because of everything that went on this summer with them, I think they were very resilient to come back and figure this stuff out, how we're going to do this. There was a lot of different things, wearing masks to come to practice and being able to finish practice. I was going to bring it with me, but I didn't. We had a squirt bottle full of cleaner and rags. We were cleaning balls after every practice. It was just something new for them to do, but they did a good job. And I think out and out as a group, I believe our team did one, if not the best, one of the best of all the teams at Suburban. We were trying to do the right things to get through our season and be safe. So that was number one, is we want our kids to get through this safe. So that's the resilient piece. And again, looking forward to is there's a lot of younger guys did get experience this year. We had some get it because of injuries and some get it just because we had those guys playing. So that valued experience will be much needed next year to replace those 10 seniors we're losing. Some of the stats from this year, our goals against average dropped from 0.95 last year to 0.62 this year, which is impressive. 0.6 goals a game is not a whole lot of goals to go up in a varsity soccer team. So scored, what did I say? We scored 33 goals, so I think it was 2.5 goals a game. We were like 2.8 last year, a little higher, but very similar in goals per game. It's hard to compare true numbers because the numbers of games was way less, so just looking at those, but I went with the goals per game average, so. It's still, those are both things that are coming up over the years. We were, I think, at 1.7 in 2018 and 1.5 in 2017. So they're continuing to trend in the right direction. So that's what we want to keep having with our guys. Let's see. This year's record, 10-3 versus we were 12-4-2 last year. Just more games played, and that came up from. As these guys, the seniors were sophomores, we were 9-9, and when they were freshmen, that was one of our down years. We were 5-11-2, so that was a good job we did this year. The 10-2 in our league is the best league record we've had for quite a while. And both the teams we lost to this season when we played them, they were both undefeated. Susquehanna didn't lose a game. We played them, and Lower Dolphin had one tie. So they had not lost a game. So we didn't lose to anybody that wasn't playing good soccer. So we played very well in all the games. So again, something else to note I made. I've talked to the players about this. It's small steps from being good to great. We played some great games and had some great times, and sometimes we were just good, which is still okay, but that's the difference. It's a fine line. So that's the rain they're talking about. That's what I mean. That's what I remember about these guys is just that the effort that they put forth. That's all I remember about this team for a long time. They did it from day one until we finished. So that's something they can take forward and the rest of their lives. Hopefully they learn from this and can take this teamwork and make that part of who they are going forward. I think the team piece is something that's. I work in a business and we have multi-different kinds of teams that we work with multi-different kinds of people from all over the world. So it's something that being able to be part of a team and adapt and overcome with different personalities is something that's great to be able to do. And I think these guys did a great job of that. Because there are a lot of personalities on our team, in case anybody didn't notice. As the coaches. Okay, I guess I'll go through and do a little player recognition. We'll start with our freshman class. I'll just go through the